One more match in today's Olimoleague. And it is between the red Terran Archon in the top left-hand side, ByuN and Dark, taking on Solar and DRG, the blue Zergs in the bottom right. So this is Archon mode, right? ByuN's going to do the ByuN 3-rack special. 1, 2, 3. No? Yes? Maybe? Okay, it looks as though we're not going to build it in the wall. So maybe just a 2-racks in this sort of location, though. This is something he's done to DRG and Solar a whole bunch of times. Well, first of all, welcome. This is Archon mode, which means that 2 players control one set of units and one set of buildings, etc. So ByuN and Dark teaming up, playing Terran, and Solar and DRG teaming up and playing Zerg. Both of these teams lost to Harstam and Lambo playing Protoss, 2-3. And here they are in their final match. This is 5 maps played, no matter what. 5 maps played, so each map is just worth money. So keep that in mind as you get into this TvZ with the proxy barracks. Again, if you watch this on YouTube, because it's the sort of series I would hope to get to upload to YouTube, if it's good enough, then do consider hitting the like button and maybe consider subscribing. I'm trying to revitalize the YouTube a little bit, putting some work in on it, so that involves mentioning whenever we might upload a YouTube video to YouTube that you guys can interact with the video to help us out. So do that. And with that, the 3 racks is underway. So a little fun story just before this really gets going is that after the first series, ByuN apparently took Dark on his stream and had a little bit of a lesson with Dark and was like, right, Dark, this is how we marine split. And apparently he was teaching Dark to do some marine splits as our first marine pops out, and ByuN is going to run that through. Now, this is just a reminder as well, just in case you're joining us, or just in case you've not seen Archon mode in a while, that you can tell who is controlling what. This solid red line around the marine means that it is ByuN controlling it. He's the first on the scorecard. So solid lines means the first player on the scorecard. Dashed lines means the second player. Right now, it's mostly just ByuN and Solar microing at the front here. You can see that dashed line around the marine of the marine here. That means DRG is targeting that marine. So that's something to look at here. This is awkward because I don't know what you do. It looks as though ByuN is controlling the Marines. Dark is controlling the SCV for the most part. Looks like they're all going to go into ByuN's hands now as he kites backwards here. Dark seems to be in charge of the bunker, which will maybe get a chance to finish. I don't believe that's going to finish in a situation like this. Now, Solar and DRG must keep these Marines from getting into that bunker, because if this bunker gets populated, that is just going to cost you way too many units, and maybe it already is, as we see, what, 7 drones dead? These Marines should just die for it now if they can get in there. Yeah, there's just going to be so much more damage output. The drones surround a new Marine to stop it from getting in. And to be fair, the bunker can't be repaired or anything. We're even going to jump out of it now and maybe salvage it. No, we're going to go back in for a few more moments. Honestly, 11 drones killed is already damage enough done here, as we do not get the salvage. That was very close, actually. We do not get the salvage. And, yeah, I wonder how much complication there was there between the teams, because I felt as though everyone was selecting different things at points. Felt like that they might have kind of got in the way of each other, both in the attack and on the defense. Well, 3 racks is fairly committed, but there's a lot more Marines still coming through. Without a spine crawl and with Marines still building, this becomes very difficult to hold. He's going to force the transfusion here already. Now he jumps on the other Queen. Gets that. A couple lings go down. Oh, this is so difficult, man. You're going to lose these lings. You're going to lose this Queen. You had to drone here as Solar and DRG. If you were not droning, you were going to just die to the lack of economy because you lost so many workers early. And that's why ByuN and Dark are going to be able to get the win there as they take game 1 of this 5 game. Fast and ferocious start to the last game. And let's see what the Terrans do this time. I'd be surprised if they keep on proxy racks, and especially on 2,000 atmospheres. In the top right side, our blue Terran Archon is ByuN and Dark. I keep wanting to say ByuN and DRG because Dark's name on career is DPG Dark because his team is Dragon Phoenix Gaming. And I just keep looking here, I'm like, ByuN and DRG, right? PR, what's the difference? It's like a little extra line. So yeah, if I misspeak that at one point, I apologize. It is absolutely ByuN and Dark on the same team as in the bottom left side. Solar and DRG, Dongregu, here in the bottom left-hand corner of 2,000 atmospheres. I'll see what they can bring us on a round 2 of action now. Obviously, this time they might actually be allowed to play their game, which would be kind of awesome. So yeah, just to reiterate one more time, because I appreciate it was a little bit rushed with the action starting last time, but You can see on this command cell, you see this dashed blue line? That means that Dark is selecting it because he's second on the scorecard in the list. The front player on the scorecard is ByuN, and that's that solid blue line in that full outline that keeps pinging up. So right now, Dark just got the CC selected and is not doing anything else. ByuN, you can see here when he selects this barracks, it lights up. That's how you can tell who is controlling what. And it's the same on the other side. DRG will be the solid red line, and Solar will be the dashed line just because of the order they are in the scorecard. Basically, it's the order that they get put into the game. You know, one person's like the team leader, and they show up first on the scorecard, but they also get the proper like selection animation as well. So, yeah. So yeah, that's just again good way to kind of keep track of things, and I appreciate I just explained it a little bit fast last time because everything was happening very quickly. It's going to be seeing our Overlord flying toward the main base, so that's going to be getting into the main in a few moments' time. Just going to be seeing that Reaper heading down to the bottom side of the map. As Ling Speed's on the way and a few Lings on the way out. And yeah, we'll see this Reaper in apparently in control of Dark, so ByuN's just letting Dark do the Reaper micro here. Let's see how this goes. As already those Lings getting very close, but the back and forth will begin. ByuN selects the Reaper for a moment, but he might just have it on a hotkey and just kind of tap in between them out of habit more so than actually controlling it. This is absolutely for now. Dark who's on the back and forth. Now ByuN takes it over, so maybe switching roles a little bit as other stuff happens back at home. Now Dark's back on it, so they're actually kind of rotating between who's controlling this Reaper, which is kind of interesting. Wondering how that's working. Obviously, these guys are on voice talking to each other, so it is possible to suddenly stop, you know, which unit you've got selected. Oh, Dark nearly losing out there. That was a little scary. Isn't Olimoleague originally a base trade TV thing? It was casted by base trade TV, but it was never ran by base trade TV. Olimoleague is ran by Olimoleague, who has been doing this for a long time, and of course you can support it. Go in the chat, you type in !Olimoleague, it'll give you the patreon.com/Olimoleague, and that is how you support the Olimoleague. It is fully funded by the Patreon, so only happens because of that. So do get in and support it, and especially now with these new formats, I think it's really fun getting to see some. We saw 2v2 a couple months back, now seeing Archon. I like it, mixing it up a bit, still having some, you know, standard 1v1 stuff as well. I feel like it's been a lot of fun, actually. I've really enjoyed these new formats and so on. Two Reapers and a Hellion, or two Hellions and a Reaper, I should say, other way around, get my units mixed up in my head. Two Hellions and a Reaper. Poking around at the forward base here, the other Hellions showing up as well. Blood Queen's just pulling back along toward the natural. And Cloak Banshees are on the way up right now as well. It's just getting that up and rolling. And, I mean, Cloak Banshee's a very safe way to get set up. Keeps you very safe in case this turns into some kind of roach style from DRG and Solar. So that's definitely a benefit right away. And, yeah, it just obviously allows you to have a good bit of harassment too. I think Banshees are one of the better ways to open even when you play Archon mode, because you have someone that can really focus on using the Banshees all the time. And that's obviously quite powerful, because you're almost always then going to find some openings. And maybe even if it's just creep spread denial, those Banshees are extra units on the map early, and it just really allows you to start making use of the fact that you've got two players playing rather than just the one player. So 100% behind the Banshee opener here, as we do have Cloak done, and Hellions are still playing around the front. It is, again, Dark who is in control of those Hellions. ByuN just executing the build behind this for the moment, which makes sense. If you've got one player on race and one player off race, I think it's definitely better to have the on race player doing the build order, while the off race player kind of does some of the micro. Right now, ByuN is actually going to take the Banshee, so he's on Banshee control duty. But he actually took a lot of shots on it initially, and fly it away now as Dark's still just looking to go with these Hellions. And it's so annoying when you've got one player that can just focus on the Hellions. They can do so much to deny the creep, but of course the Zergs can have a whole player who's just focused on creeping as well, so it works both ways. That's a good bit of creep denial though, off to that right-hand side, which is where the fourth typically goes. That's some really nice creep denial, actually. May even go fourth base left side of the map now, as there's just not going to be a lot of creep down on the bottom side. How to differentiate who's controlling what again, one more time. This dashed line means that Dark is controlling it because he's second in the scorecard. A full line means the first player in the scorecard on the bottom is controlling it. So full line first player, dash line second player. As yeah, it's obviously very subtle. You probably do have to have like it full screen to really see it properly, but it's definitely worth mentioning because I think it is really cool to be able to see kind of who's doing what, and at times when different players or when both of them are kind of controlling the same army or something, or you know what I mean. Actually, it's one of my favorite things I never knew about Archon mode. I had no idea about this until I ran my own Archon tournament, and someone in chat taught me, and I was like, well, shit. That actually changes completely my viewing experience of this. Uh-oh, they're going to have Hellions surrounded here. Good catch. It's DRG on the chase with these Zerglings, and he is going to catch a good chunk of the Hellions. Really nice denial, keeping those away. And that means you're not going to have those Hellions for like a later attack or anything as well. So that's a really nice little victory. So 1-1 upgrade starting up on both sides of the map. It is still dark on the main army fight. I mean, this is obviously why ByuN was teaching him to split. He wants to focus on the macro. He's gonna believe in Dark's micro with the Terran units. Let's see what's going to happen as we come down the bottom side. Those Marines moving across. And armor getting set up. Tank getting set up behind here as well. The fourth does go to the bottom of the map no matter what. In the end. And just going to be seeing still that tank sneaking ever closer as there's a massive link counterattack. So is ByuN just going to be dealing with this? Looks like yes. He's going to worry himself with this. Nice little lift up there, but he actually had other units from the natural. And I wonder if he just left those units on the ground and stemmed the units from the natural. He might have been okay. Maybe not. Hard to know though, because obviously by actually going for the lift up, you kind of left the other units to kind of die on their own as well. Nice run by, 4 SCVs killed, and obviously this is one of those things where Dark is still being able to kind of pressure during this. That's something which wouldn't usually happen, so full on, you know, able to fully pay attention to kind of defending because ByuN's doing the defense while Dark is on the offense. He's going to try and slip into the main base, but that's not going to work too well at all. Very well defended in the main. Multiple spores, a queen, and we're on our way to our Hydra Den and the infestation pit, so we're absolutely teching up into that later stage of the game that we know can be oh so powerful in TvZ. Marines coming through, a few more creep tumors continuing to go down. There's a lot of creep tumors going down as Lings run through. Marines going to load up into the medevacs. Marines still out on the left-hand side. More Marines loading back up. The Banshee gets taken down as well, so that will finally fall. Still Dark on the left side of the map. I believe ByuN, yeah, ByuN on this right side drop at the moment as well, coming back through, and these few Lings going down already. Lifting back up and just dealing with this little bit of kind of a bailing squad. It is DRG who's on the majority of the units over here on the left. Is Solar on the right side, or what's happening over here? Yeah, Solar's on the right. So you can see it's not just one guy macro, one guy micro. It is you take this part of the army, I'll take that part of the army, and that's happening on both teams at the moment as we will siege here and we will scan for a good amount of creep spread. Actually, really going to clean up some of the creep in the middle. Very important to do that because the creep will just be out of control. In an Archon match, when someone can really just focus on it, you need to keep that creep under control. And honestly, ByuN and Dark are doing a very good job of controlling the creep so far. It's nowhere near, and it's still kind of nice creep, but for Archon mode, it's definitely not the craziest creep we've ever seen. As cancelled 4th base and Marines that don't have anywhere to really run to. There's another CC here at least, so it's not the end of the world losing that initial CC. As obviously this big push continues, units will eventually come out to defend these Lings, but 7 SCVs already down. Can you defend back at home though as DRG and Solar? Because this army is getting rid of a hatchery. And it's genuinely looking still scary. Nice Widowmine shot at home as well, but 21 SCVs lost. The Terran needs to do damage here and is absolutely looking for it, continuing to move on forward. Putting on as much pressure as possible. Queens are kind of fighting without the rest of it coming in, but here comes the surround from the other side. DRG and Solar. Oh, and they are going to start crashing into this here. Dark, can we get those Marine splits off? He actually didn't do that badly. It was actually not bad at all. You got tanks and Marines still alive after the Ling Bane's gone. There's just too much Queen Hydra, and there's no reinforcements coming in for Team Terran until just now. And that means there's already Banes on the way up. In fact, Lurkers are morphing. I think we're well on our way to defending this as the Zerg. And if we do defend, our Zerg Archon will be able to tie this game up, I think, because obviously the damage done across the map pretty much puts the Terran Archon all in right now. I think that's what we're seeing as that Ling Bane rolls through, and that should, in my eyes, be enough to clean this out and to solidify the position in this game. Looks like we will have ByuN and Dark not leaving just yet, but they're definitely going to be trailing. And especially now that the Lurkers are out, Vipers are being morphed, there are so many things being brought into play that are only going to accelerate the victory here for DRG and Solar. Things that will that will just go such a long way to continuing to help on out, basically. Marines loading the medevacs, gonna move around the top side. Lurkers. Keep the Marines at bay. Uh-oh, Ling run-by is actually gonna get in. I'm even just gonna lift up Unity to try and save them, but that's a siege tank that's gonna die. I mean, those are reinforcements that you genuinely just need right now. Dropping the Marines back down into these Lings isn't gonna help either. And yeah, that's just another really nice run-by. Even if it's not getting workers, just picking apart the, the reinforcements is obviously really a big deal. This absolutely looks like we've got the Zergs in full control. We kind of knew that, but the Terrans are just not finding a way to take control back at all, which we thought maybe could have happened. It will not. GG is called, and DRG and Solar will take Game 2. We're tied up 1-1. In finals 2-3 weeks ago, so still just out there winning StarCraft tournaments. Nothing too crazy. Bottom left side, Solar and Dongray Gu tied up on 2,000 atmospheres. Let's see what they've got for Oxide. As they take on the Terran Archon, ByuN and Dark in the top right. Ourselves set up here. As Solar asks a question. Not sure what they're saying. Oh, Solar's asking who did the Banshees. Yeah, because ByuN said Dark, and Dark said ByuN. The Banshee control was not great, honestly, considering the macro. like considering it was just like the Banshees to look at, but of course he's macroing as well, right? Which is actually why I feel like maybe the Hellions go to ByuN at that point and the Banshees go to Dark. I don't know. Either way, kind of that's kind of funny that that ByuN's like, yeah, it was Dark. Oh, amazing. Dark must be eaten instead of playing. It's always fun to see the fun side of players in these events. Shout out to Crank, who's going to put some time translating for us. So you see our Reaper dealing some damage, Ling taking some shots. We got one Ling taken down there, and such a nice kill on the Ling already. That is Dark again on the Reaper control. So Dark in charge of this Reaper and getting himself a Zergling. Creep Tumor on the ramp, of course. Ramp up on Oxide means it's very difficult to deny the Creep Tumor from going down. It's just something you have to accept is probably going to happen. And that's exactly what does happen. Creep Tumor goes down right away. Well, Hallion's still building as our Reaper escapes out to the side. Obviously just wanted to check the third hatchery and so on, just keeping track of everything that's going on at the moment. As our Reaper thinking about moving in there, but not quite going to find the opportunity. Around the south, our Reaper will come through once again. A couple of these Hellions going to move forward with this, and Terran Hellions together. Not gonna find too much, right? That link speed's still coming up. Uh-oh, Hellions went kind of the other way around to the Reaper. One of the biggest problems back at home, Hellion Star, is just Stim and a Viking. So, very standard way of setting up and then just adding a third CC on. As we are building Widow Mines now, though, with a medevac as well. Okay, gonna cancel those and then just go into everything else. So it is just gonna be barracks. Barracks before you go into the third CC, though, so actually gonna be seeing a bit more of an aggressive style here this time around. Aliens are still poking and prodding out on the bottom side of the map. Not finding too much, though. As the Viking is obviously on a hunt for some overlords, but Queen should get here to defend this one. And there's not really any other overlords on the map for it to get. 0 kill Viking. Well, obviously one overlord was killed earlier by Marine. But, yeah, we're going to try and get one in the main base. Queen should be able to get there, though. Hellions are still doing what they can. Uh-oh. They found this creep tumor, so he knows it's there and can kill it with the rocks. Dark with the cool little plays, huh? That's really, really cute as the couple things going to move around. Roach are on building from DRG and Solar. So they're going to play Roaches, which is really good against what's happening because they're going to be attacked and attacked hard. And obviously if you're attacking a... if you get being attacked basically 2 base all in, essentially, Roaches are just that little bit sturdier than any sort of Ling Bane army, so that looks good. Oh, the Viking went down. The Viking died, so apparently the Viking was Dark's doing as well. Amazing. Alright, well, as the medevacs pop, we are really going to be heading into this attack fairly soon, guys. I mean, we are not having a lot of time to wait. A few more shots on that set of rocks, just trying to see if there's another creep teamer to be killed off. As this is still Dark, bringing these Hellions and the Reaper around this right-hand side. So Dark bringing the Hellion and Reaper over to the right. Killing off a couple more creep tumors. And that's one more as well. Reaper and Hellion still getting pushed away. A couple of Lings being picked away at. These Marines coming down. They're going to try and get some kills too. As that +1 attack, combat shields, medevacs, all of this continuing up as well. Press forward, another little bit of damage being done. Creeps taking some damage. I mean, this is the attack, right? This is where the Roaches help you out a bunch because you've just got actual units to help you. You'll be able to get another creep teamer here, using that splash damage very well. Again, things that you can pay more attention to when it's the only thing you've got to pay attention to because that's just your job. Third CC starts, and Medevac's just going to load up Marines, but being 20 workers up means this is already looking great for Solar and DRG as long as they continue to not take damage. So if that drop doesn't end up doing much, Solar and DRG might just be waltzing towards a victory here on Oxide. Again, it's Dark actually controlling this drop as well, so he's going to drop this into the main. Who's got the Hellions right now is what I'm wondering. Dark's still on here. I missed who selected. Okay, ByuN is now on the Hellion control, so they've swapped units a little bit. ByuN on the Hellion control, and we'll get a few more creep teamers scanning for them. And like I say, Dark was just in charge of dropping for a little bit. He's going to take the fight against these Roaches. Obviously, again, it's that cool little thing, right? Dark, he obviously usually plays ZVT from the Zerg side. So Dark can usually probably say, oh yeah, you know, from, you know, if I, you know, I can analyze he can analyze this fight and say, actually, yeah, this is a fight Terran can take a little bit. So Dark is obviously able to make pretty good decisions overall here because he's obviously got, you know, the experience from the Zerg side of things. As this army is still building up, there's a lot of tanks right now as we take 2 more medevacs out. It is again Dark on those 2 medevacs, so it looks like he's just going to retire some of the damaged ones and take some healthier medevacs this time around, and trying to hit this base which is built, and there's only a few Roaches there. Actually might be overran by the reinforcement on this drop, so just gonna jump on this, and yeah, those Roaches taking some hits. This hatchery in some trouble maybe. Units come over to protect, but now the Queens are on their own on this bottom side, transfusing to buy some time, but the tanks are all getting sieged, and this is the position you never wanted Dark and ByuN to get into, because once they are here, it's going to be so difficult to dislodge them with Roaches. I mean, you can just already see the damage that these Roaches are taking from the tank shots. Okay, you're going to corrosive power down the first siege tank here, but I mean, so much damage being done otherwise. However, we run out of bio units, and now the last few tanks do get cleaned out. I was not expecting that towards the end, honestly. And in the end, Solar and DRG do hold this off, as ByuN and Dark need to be able to defend at home because they are still in a position where they're setting up onto their third base location. Obviously, you need to be able to hold that, else you're going to be in some serious trouble as well. And that was a great breakout of that tank line. I really thought we were in trouble there. Didn't think that was necessarily going anywhere. Things, Roaches, and Ravagers still moving through, scaring those medevacs out of there. Lurkers are on the way now, so having been able to make that transition up to the Lurkers obviously goes a long way towards keeping yourselves in this game as the Zergs. I see Marine Marauder chasing Roaches out the left-hand side. I think this is starting to get a little bit out of control for ByuN and Dark. We'll see what they can do once the Lurkers are on the field. What is fun is that Dark is one of the players that really plays Roach Ravager into Lurkers, so maybe he can share some insight as to maybe what they should start doing here once the Lurkers are spotted, which they are now. Let's see what the plan is. They're already building Libs, and Libs is actually a good direction to go in. You're not going to have a lot of anti-air, so Libs can really hold positions and push back some of the Lurker sieges that can get set up. So I don't hate that part of it. In fact, I like that part of it quite a bit right now. Medevac's moving away to the side. Just going to see our 2-2 still coming through. Our Libs, our Marine Marauder, our +1 vehicle weapons. I got that spore build already as our Medevacs will just go diving for the main base. Liberators are set up already here, but that doesn't dissuade the Zergs from going for this. Just going to abduct those Libs in. Takes them out of siege mode, even abducting some tanks as well. The Viper's out too. It's a deadly combination as ByuN is going to try and find a way to wrap around this. He is going to get on top of these Lurkers. A Blinding Cloud desperately goes down to try and protect them. So much lost on the side of the Terran. The Zergs have just rebuilt instantly as well. 34 Lings, 14 Hydras in production, even as you chase away a few more Ravagers. The supplies don't lie. It's more of more of a sub-truth than a supply. Get it, guys? That was a good one, right? Yeah, no, that's pretty brutal, I think. Solar and DRG are just going to come rampaging forward again. A lot of Lings. It's going to be great to just jump on top of the tanks, help get units in the back on top of units as well, into siege positions, although I don't think there's any Lurkers right now, so maybe not the best fight in the world, but it's going to be enough. So many medevacs are going to keep a lot of the Marines alive initially. As Lings do slip by into the natural as well. Sorry, it's not even Lings, it's Roaches that slip by into this natural, and they're going to go up into the main, so going to put a hold on the production, and GG from ByuN and Dark is going to GG ... I feel like Dark's not happy with ByuN. He's like, God damn, this freaking Terran player doesn't even know how to play TvZ. How did I get stuck with this guy? As we dive on in, Solar DRG. Again, this is not a best of 5, but rather a 5-game series. So all 5 maps get played anyway, no matter what happens here. So even if DRG Solar win this game, as they are the Zergs in the bottom right, we will still play map 5. And just a reminder, after that, I'm going to be doing a sponsored stream for an hour as well. I'm going to be playing a game called Timberborn. That should be really cool as well. So yeah, I'm excited for that. That's going to be coming up when the StarCraft ends, so in 2 maps' time. So if you are enjoying the stream, stick around at the end, and helps us out a whole bunch. Helps us to do more StarCraft stuff, basically. Helps. It's based on viewership, so if you guys just sit around after and watch the stream for a bit, it goes a long way. Okay, so Solar's asking where the proxy racks are. Dark's is at the bottom. ByuN's like, shut up. Then ByuN says there, where you got nuked. He nuked Solar the other day, right? In the ESL Open Cup, if I'm not mistaken, for Korea. So ByuN bringing out the fire in this in this game number 4 right now. The chat begins. Ay, ay, ay. Oh, maybe we'll get a nuke game. Romanticide can absolutely lead into that stage of the game. We saw it in TvZ a little bit earlier. Feelings coming out early is a pool first, so they really are suspecting a proxy racks. So, suspecting the proxy racks, they just get the Lings going early. Obviously, it's not a proxy racks. It's a 2-1-1, huh? Second barracks already building here. As our Reaper gets across the map. Those feelings just going to be getting through towards the natural, up in toward the main. There's going to be a cancel on the CC. Wow, a cancel on the CC. Wow, well that's bad, because the Reaper was just across the map. All 6 Lings got across. Solo's asking them to GG. The Lings are now going to spread out and get the hell out of there, as the Reaper does catch 2 of them, splitting to try and give the other... Oh my goodness, this one lives. Trying to give the chance for the others to get away. I can't believe that one Zergling survived. But I can't believe they cancelled the CC so quickly, honestly. I guess Reaper into Reactor... Yeah, I kind of get... honestly, I thought... Why not just pull SCVs for it? Genuinely surprised to see that, actually. Genuinely surprised as the Reaper wanted to get up that ramp, will not quite be able to just yet, though. Took a few hours today, but we finally got to the trash-talking part of Olimoleague, which I'm all about, guys. I can get behind that. Why not? Now, this Reaper does return all the way back to the top side. There's a Zergling it can catch. And that Reaper is going to get the kill on that Zergling, so Zergling is down and out. Well, we're still moving along with the 2-on-1. I mean, one of the big hopes now from ByuN and DRG, ByuN and Dark, sorry, is that they can perhaps get that 2-on-1 across the map and really dealing some more than usual damage to bring them back into this, because the late command center is going to be a big hindrance to their build. They're just going to be slowed down heavily from this. As the Reaper gets into the main, the feelings are going to get through, and they are going to get rid of that Reaper, so the Reaper is denied. Okay, and 2 Hellions continuing out. Stimpack is really not far from finishing. And just going to be having the armory building up right now as well. So getting that armory up and running. The Fueling's going to try and turn back around too. Just going to be seeing this going to be the very aggressive variation. With the armory so quickly, you're basically going to try and bring the Hellions across, morph them into Hellbats. And that means you're not quite properly on what the 2-on-1 usually does. So it's a bit of a weird setup. It means you keep the factor on the reactor, you only build 1 medevac at a time. As here we go, first attack starting to move across. Hides the Hellions in the medevac. That's pretty cute, actually. But obviously you only see 1 medevac as well. Baynest is going to be done in a moment. Solar asks why only 1 medevac. They should, you know, ByuN should lie and he should be like, Dark's macro is terrible. Dark got his supply blocked. Actually, it's not unrealistic to maybe be supply blocked because you had the CC cancelled, so your timings are off. Maybe they could. I don't know if Solar would believe it. And they're morphing Banelings. I mean, obviously now the Hellbats are seen as well. Oh, they're in a world of trouble. They're now going to start trying to build up drilling claws. That's going to be a cancelled 3rd CC, right? And I guess she turns away from it. Maybe could have just got the CC if he just committed onto it right away. Would have lost a few Lings, though, and maybe doesn't feel that that's going to be worthwhile. They're coming back. They're looking for another worker, but... it just now moved into the right position to be picked off. Ling being Queen. Getting settled. It's going to see the Queen starting to press forward. Some crew teamers going down. Other Lings on the top of the map getting set up as well. Crew teamers being picked off. The Hellbat's falling back. Bands connect in. These Marines do load up into the medevac. So loading up into the medevac, backing away from this right now. See more of these Lings getting turned around. As we get a 4th hatchery up in the center. Our Ling's going to go back around the right side. Widow Mines, our drilling claws, all of this continuing too. A couple of extra medevacs continuing on up. As our Marines, are we going to drop a scan? Not just yet. Queens continue forward again is just going to be seeing our back and forth continuing. Let's see a drop lord setting up on the top. I mean, the problem is ByuN and Dark have really just not really had anything that they needed initially. As Overlord speed finishes, we've got Banelings in a bottom side Overlord and a top side Overlord. This one single medevac ain't doing much, and they cannot possibly afford to lose any SCVs to these Bane drops. If they lose SCVs here, this game is going to be even more over than it already was. Let's find out. The Bane's moving in. Marines see the drop in the main and in the natural. Yeah, okay. Really good defense so far. We'll see the Overlords get away. Oh, sends just a single. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. No! It's actually going to be an incredible play. He sent one Baneling forward initially, got the Marines. The Terrans assumed it was a done deal. Meanwhile, Widowmine's killing drones. 17 drones just died. Oh my goodness. So the beautiful play on the Bane drop and the natural to get 9 workers in the end. But then actually taking a ton of damage to a Widowmine drop. Oh, and that's no lift up, Dark. The micro has not... The micro train of ByuN did not prevail there. That was a Dark control in that medevac as the Marines went down. I think it's Solar controlling these Baneling drops as well, and he's doing a fantastic job of them. I gotta say, as ByuN and Dark, I keep wanting to say ByuN and DRG for some reason. ByuN and Dark keep trying to drag themselves back into this. Get themselves back online. Well, just continue to defend here. Obviously, now you really want to make sure the next Widow Mines don't do much. Lings being given up is much better than drones. Alright, I'll just change Lings in the back over here. This medevac's still looking for openings. There are a good amount of Spore Crawlers up, and the reason for that is it can obviously just provide detection and just shoot the medevac as it tries to fly in. So that's a lot of what we expect to go down here. Widow Mines trying to find some positions as a couple of the Widow Mines pull back. Idler's Den finishing. Infestation Pit about to be completed as well. So they are very important as Lings run through, picking up a couple Marines. Lings all getting cleaned out. Still got this Bane drop on the left side. Oh, now just some Banes. Oh my god. Gets 4 Widow Mines. That's actually amazing. Banes for Widow Mines. Yeah, I'll take it. And now the drop comes in for another 9 SCVs. Solar is kind of styling on ByuN and Dark here. And look at the group spread, by the way, as Solar's going to drop a little bit more trash talk out in the chat, I assume. I don't feel like that's a... Oh, sorry. Maybe that's a no, sorry. You know, SCVs got killed. I accidentally dropped Banelings on them. My bad. Yep, just gonna... I mean, no response from ByuN and Dark. They're truly being embarrassed a little bit in this game number 4. They're very dead, guys. The Widowmine drop that killed like 20 workers is obviously the one thing that really maybe give them somewhat hope and somewhat a reason to stay in this, but shouldn't really keep them alive for too long. Bane's gonna morph in, our factory's building, and the natural expansion as well. I mean, with creep everywhere too, right? It's just... At this point, as ByuN and Dark, you're basically hoping that they get overly confident and these guys just bust you too many times and they like throw units a little bit too haphazardly into your defenses. That's basically your only hope. This Overlord drop is actually seen by the medevac. Whether they notice or not is a different question, though. That Widowmine goes down. Overseer was there to provide the detection. Uh-oh. There's a missile turret. The Bane's just going to start unloading anyways. Okay, this one wasn't so bad. The Overlord goes down, too. There's a ton of Lings on the map. Lurkers are setting up as well. Creep is everywhere. Game 4 seems to be decided. Remember, we get Game 5 no matter what. Game 5 will happen anyway, guys. There's a few Lings here trying to cancel a command center. So yeah, we play Game 5 no matter what. It's not a best of 5, it's 5 games played. And every map is money to be won, so... Well, money's still on the line. ByuN and Dark definitely look better in TvP than they did in TvZ, that's for sure, as they just charge on forwards, DRG and Solar. And ByuN types a question mark. Yeah, I wonder how they can just throw Ling Bane straight in your face. I wonder how... Oh my god, the natural dies. Well, that's... Okay, ByuN and Dark are going to start talking now. Yeah, it seems like they're not happy with each other. DRG and Solar are going to take the 3-1 lead. And another map as we go into the 5th map again. Not just a best of 5, it's 5 maps played. Money on the line for every map. As in the bottom right, Solar and DRG have been dominant. Absolutely freaking awesome so far, these two. And, yeah, they are not messing around. Bottom left, ByuN and Dark blaming each other, having trouble. Apparently it's been a lot of fun to watch from ByuN's point of view. He is streaming if you want to go and watch their shenanigans from ByuN's side. For this final map, you can go check that out. And get this set on up. Dark with that permanent selection on the command center early game. He just sits there, lets ByuN do the build order. Drones on the way out, a couple of barracks being built in the main. That's a very unique way of doing this. What the hell is this? Just 2 racks Reaper in base? That's, okay, we're gonna go in base 3 racks Reaper, I think. Which is very unique. Okay, let's see if ByuN can pull out some Reaper magic. I assume the whole intention here is that ByuN is going to be micro. And if he gives these Reapers to Dark to micro, I am absolutely floored. I'm absolutely floored. Let's see. Looks like Dark is switching between the racks and the command centers. Maybe Dark is indeed going to do the macro here. Maybe ByuN's like, right, Dark, all you have to do, you know, I remember this from when I beat you in BlizzCon with it. All you have to do is keep pressing R. Then I'll do the micro. This is how ByuN won his BlizzCon, and it was against Dark in that finals, of course, in 2016. ByuN became the world champion. He was unbeatable that year at the end of it. It was really crazy. First Reaper shows up. Now, the Overlord of Solar and DRG didn't see the racks. He's going to see one in the corner now. So they're maybe now going to start realizing what's up. His Spine Crawl already started to build, and there's more Lings on the way too. Let's see if ByuN microing these Reapers can make true magic happen. Can the Reapers be the answer to Dark and ByuN's problems in TvZ, apparently? They've not exactly been having the best of times. Queen Till taking some hits. The Ling's taking some shots as well. I'm just going to be seeing still a bit more damage being done. The Reaper going to drop a grenade. GG, please, says Solar. Well, he's controlling these Lings and these Queens. Let's see if his micro can keep up. Going to relocate the Spine Crawl a little bit. We are expanding at home behind this. Ling speed's about to be done. The problem with this map is there's not really anywhere you can jump around. You know, you're either in the main base, and that's really your only option. You can't, like, jump to the low ground and then go elsewhere. You jump to the low ground and you're just kind of out of the base. Like, you're not harassing anywhere else immediately. So, yeah, now Ling speed is done in these Reapers. Well, it's time to get grenading, ByuN. Let's see the magic. Let's see this Reaper control. Let's see if he can make this happen as ByuN brings the Reapers to the front. And now he's going to start falling back with them. So, going to be a defense. Now, they do get a 5-worker lead. CC almost done, so they can almost claim that it's equal basis to the 3rd hatchery of the Zergs, are somewhat delayed too. And we are starting to build reactors and tech labs to transition away from this Reaper opening. So 2 reactors and a tech lab in the main base. A lot of Reapers just out the front, of course. So we'll see how these Reapers get used as the game progresses from here. Stimpack has started, and again, ByuN and Dark will take this into the bio style. Reapers on the other side of the map are going to begin to trade again. Obviously, those Lings want to be careful. They can't just run at the Reapers, because if they do, the Reapers can grenade them and the Lings can run into trouble. I'm actually worried that they're making too many Lings. Counter-attacking with some. There's a bunker that will have a Marine in it. Yeah, I feel like this is a lot of Lings to be making. They're still down on the work account, so a little bit concerned actually for our Zergs that they're maybe not actually having the correct response against this at the moment. That they maybe could have snuck a few more drones in, and without those drones, maybe they do fall into trouble eventually. These Reapers can keep Solar and DRG distracted long enough, and the medevacs get out, and you get all these Marines across the map with stim and medevacs. That'd be kind of crazy. The Ling's still unwilling to commit on top of the Reapers. We're gonna have one push here, which is gonna be a pretty scary time with like stim Marines, Reapers, medevacs. Yeah, Baneling Nest is on the way, and I think that's absolutely a necessity, but can those Banelings even get a chance to connect? If the Reaper grenades are good, you can actually keep the Marines alive, and the Banelings will never really get a chance to connect. Grenades here so far brilliant, but some of the Reapers getting hit by it too, so a couple of Reapers going down. And the Vax coming up, we're getting closer and closer to what will probably be the big fight to try and decide how exactly this ends up. Reapers will move around the upper side towards that upper corner. Okay, and the nest will be ready at least. That's definitely a big part of it, right? So the Baneling Nest will be ready. Can't help but imagine that will at least have some kind of, create some kind of hope here. Out we go, two medevacs boosting through this bottom side. Our Reapers joining up in a creep tumor. We get picked off already. The feelings wanting to come around. Marines press forward, and the Queen's going to get here. Lings are going to start moving forward in those Marines. Lift up. Jumping on this before the Reapers even joined up with the Marines is great, and now this attack is already completely denied. It's already a very good start. The Lings chase for a little bit longer. That's exactly what you needed, and you're on 57 drones behind us. Your work account is brilliant here. An Overlord in the main just trying to scout out exactly what's going on, trying to figure out exactly what the situation is, all said and done. Just moving forward. Good grenade, going to hit most of the Banes, but they mostly got blasted forward, not backwards. And again, just going to be able to defend this pretty easily. Solar and DRG do seem to be doing okay, but the army supply is still growing. There's a drop in the main base of the Zergs now, and actually there is going to start being some supply issues, I think, for Solar and DRG. Is going to be seeing these Marines continue to kite away. Target fire is perfect on these Banelings. ByuN Micro on point. Finally, we lose a medevac, and we do see Banelings starting to get through. Dark is controlling this drop on the top side, coming through with these Marines. Isn't able to do quite as much just yet. The Reapers are here, there in ByuN's hands, and ByuN steals Dark's medevacs quickly to evacuate his Reapers. Well, the upgrade lead is there as well. +1 attack against no carapace is kind of a big deal, actually. Gold base straight up cancels already, and we're going to scan. It's actually going to be 3 base against 3 base soon, which is actually pretty neat. I really thought Solar and DRG were defending well, and they've got the drone camp, but they actually need to still take an army fight at some point. One Widowmine gets picked off already. The next one does get burrowed. A single Baneling will be connected onto. Oh, the next Widowmine did great, though. And now we jump into the main. There's only a couple of Banelings left alive, and if there's only a couple of Banelings, it means they can be instantly target fired down. ByuN gets them. Oh, that one's still connected. And enough Lings there to still scare this off in the end. Dark pushing his top side again. He's got Reapers to control now, too, and he's dropping some grenades. So Dark showing us what he's got as the Marines drop back into the main. Nope, gonna wait. He's got a Widowmine drop here as well that turned around for a moment. Dark is bringing the Widowmine drop in again. That dashed line showing us it's Dark on the control. Well, yeah, you do actually have to start dropping the Widowmines at some point, though. 3 of them still in. Oh, Extractor saves the drone from the Widowmine. Hey, 3rd CC is down in position, as we still don't have a 4th up for the Zerg players, and they're not going to be allowed the gold base. If nothing else, that's no attention being paid there, though, and the Banelings crash in. 5 drones going down elsewhere, as DRG says 2 players, and you still can't micro. Right, that's what I'm going to assume, because it has 2 at the front, so maybe a bit of an assumption, but I'll take it, guys. I'm happy with my prediction. Oh, who was the medevac on it? Well, That was Dark's medevac, right? But for once, that was actually Dark's, as ByuN is going to just lift up here and escape away. There's still a little bit of a supply lead. Upgrades will continue to come in, though, for the Zergs, and they are teching towards Hydroden and Infestation Pit, and that's really going to be the deal breaker in the end, I think. That's really the one thing that will truly change this game up, as Marines loading the medevacs into the main we go. Once again, keeping these drops going, keeping this game extremely active. If you get to lurk is amazing, but you really are weak until you get there. And that's going to be the problem. We try and target fire down a Baneling there. Well, I felt like there was a lot more Banelings showing up, so I'm surprised we didn't already move away from that. Dark still dropping the top. ByuN still the one dropping the main at the moment. That's how this game has been controlled so far, and at the moment it continues like that as well. Marines still moving around, and just going to be seeing a little unload on the back of that gold base. Marines on that main there as well. Medevacs make their way into the main, and a drop on the mineral. I mean, this has been a consistent drop location. I'm surprised we don't have just units left in the main at this stage. Big scout, by the way, too. They're going to see the lurker den finishing, so they know that their timer against lurkers is really ticking, that they really need to do something like right now, otherwise they're in trouble. Because they do not have anything to deal with lurkers, right? And that's why they're keeping up this pressure big time. There are 15 Banes on the map. We're going to take more medevacs across the other side. Dark's very afraid here. I feel like if this was ByuN, he would have been on top of these queens already. Oh, nice. He does get one. There's a Widow Mines here, and one of them connects on a group of Banelings as well. It's a really good connection. And guess what's back in the main base? This drop is back again just as these units have left. I mean, this could not have been timed better from ByuN showing up and killing off the few extra drones. Oh, didn't save a single Marine, though, is on the top side. These medevacs chased away. It's ByuN bringing across now. Is rallying units through the center. Still a 20 supply lead, but a Viper on the way. We are surely moments away from having our first lurkers on the map. Seismic Spines is well over the 25% marker, so it's less than a minute away from being on the map as well, for sure. Oh, it's only a minute-long upgrade, so good analysis there, Wardy. Still keeping the gold base cancelled is neat as Dark with a little bit of Baneling target fire. Cute micro from Dark here. No! A cast a curse. Cute micro from Dark as he moved commands into a Baneling. It started out as Cute micro, it just didn't continue to be Cute micro. That should have been maybe an Unburrow on the Widow Mine. Dark on the top, ByuN on the bottom. They're both controlling different groups of Marines in the same fight now. As Lings start running in, Dark evacuates, ByuN evacuates. Oh man, still a 30-40 supply lead. If they can turn this into a win, that would be amazing. Just gonna see these Marines just gonna fight against those few Lings. The Viper doesn't really know what to do. Parasite Bomb might be good. I mean, those medevacs are low HP. Guaranteed to kill one if you hit the right one of the low HP ones, and you maybe even get another depending on how much attention's being paid. Widow Mine drop gets a few drones. Action topside as Dark resets his Widow Mines. 40 supply lead for the Zerg, for the Terrans right now, in a game where Solar asked them to GG please back at the 3 or 4 minute marker. Maybe they will start asking the Zergs to GG please at some point here. They do just not have the ability, the Zergs, to get their lurkers up. Uh-oh, streaming Lings in single file here. Target fire from Dark on the banners. Oh, Dark is so good! Dark should be a Terran player. What was that? Absolutely disgusting. Baneling after Baneling just clicks them down. Oh, Dark, what a legend. He's like, hey, ByuN, this micro is kind of easy. You should try playing Zerg. It's actually way more difficult. Holy crap, Dark is just going to get rid of all those Banelings and just keep this fight going. ByuN on the bottom side. Going to move around. Widow Mine shot cleans up so much as well. Widow Mine still pressing forward. The Marines will do too much. Widow Mines are disgusting right now. As we're just going to move up in the natural. Everything's going to die. We're going to kill off the Baneling nest. The Overseers are dropping. And that, I think, is finally going to do it. The Viper goes down as well. GGG from DRG. Solo just leaves the game. And that is going to be ByuN and Dark winning out Game 5. Yeah, they lost the series, but they won this game. And that was freaking awesome. Really, really freaking awesome. That was a really, really cool Game 5.